So we got ourselves some practice squad boys. Let's talk about it. So obviously today, if players cleared the waivers, they were added to the practice squad by the Bengals. So we were able to get back majority of the guys that we actually wanted back, which humongous W here. So for example, we got Brightwell back, we got Devin Cochran back, Andrew Coker, Jalen Davis, Joe Gall Harris, Jackson Kirkland. The real list I really care about is Isaiah Williams and Momad Jigmita. But Lux came back, Seth McLaughlin came back, Kendall Milton, Jordan Moore, Moma, Isaiah Thomas, and Isaiah Williams. So we got back all those guys, which is a humongous W. We also signed our practice squad quarterback, so obviously, the diddler probably did not want to be on the practice squad. Wants a chance in the NFL. So we also signed Brett Ripien, which is the quarterback for the Broncos back in the day. Ironically enough, that's cool, I guess. Not someone I thought we were going to sign because we haven't really heard much about him, but okay. The Bengals practice squad is just two spots shy of 16 player limit. These three players did not get claimed. Quidel, so we talked about him yesterday. We kind of knew he wasn't going to get claimed, if we're being honest. Tanner McLaughlin didn't get claimed, which I guess, again, is another one where it's like we shouldn't really be surprised by that in the slightest. Just because over the last 2 years, he really hasn't become anything. So obviously, he hasn't had the fairest of shots, right? Because he was kind of like the sixth string backup, and we kept signing him and keeping him on the roster. But he's one of those guys where I don't think he's going to get signed anytime soon. At first I thought he would, but given the circumstances, probably not. I'm going to go with a solid, I don't know about that, folks. Caleb Etienne is hurt, so I think he'll probably just end up being on the practice squad in the end. My guess is they're probably just going to put Tanner McLaughlin on the practice squad and Caleb Etienne once he comes back from injury, and that will be our 16 guys. Now, of course, the practice squad changes all the time, so this will change if somebody gets hurt or somebody, we pick someone else up, right? So there's always a chance that this completely flips on its head and we get somebody else in the end. But for right now, this is kind of where we're at. We're going to have a interesting practice squad, but I said it during the preseason, and I'll kind of reiterate the same point. The thing about the practice squad, right, is you kind of want that to be a positional group where you feel very comfortable. Well, not very comfortable, but you feel, to a certain degree, you feel like if someone gets hurt, you can put that guy in, and you feel like he could be the guy, right? That's kind of the mindset with the practice squad. Obviously, you're not getting starters because, let's be honest, if they were starters, they wouldn't be on the practice squad. They would be signed to an active roster. But you kind of have that mindset, okay, like I feel comfortable if, something were to happen to my starter, the practice squad guy here could be the guy that would take over. I don't feel 1,000% like any of these guys are those guys. Other than obviously the guys that I've talked really highly about, like, Moma and Isaiah Williams. But most of these guys I look at and I'm like, if we have to rely on Andrew Coker as an option if someone gets hurt, we're going to be in a really bad spot. Like that's going to be a, we have the conversation type of one, the special conversation type of one. So hopefully it never happens, and hopefully this is a situation where it is what it is. So across the board, again, like I said, this will change over the next couple of months, all the way throughout the season, pretty much. But I am kind of disappointed we didn't bring back the Diddler. I thought it was a biggest sell of all time. I know he obviously would want to, have an opportunity somewhere else, but I don't know anyone who's going to pick him up, man. I really don't. I I mean, there's got to be somebody, but I just feel like this is a situation where he might end up on the practice squad. But it was that last game that really hurt him. Like, the second game he played was great. Actually, wait, no. The Eagles game he played was great. The second game he played, the Commanders game, was not that good. So the Diddler and the Colts game was awful. The Diddler definitely, has some growing pains, being a third-round draft pick. Oh man, it is kind of funny though that none of our guys that we cut really made it to other squads, and we're just like, yeah, you know what? That makes about sense. That makes about sense. If anyone watched our preseason highlights, they were like, yeah, no, we're good. We're actually gonna take like a guy with one leg over anyone the Bengals cut from their preseason highlights. Like, we're gonna take the guy with one leg. I think, what was it, Shaq Griffin, who had one arm or one hand? No, one arm, I think. No, wait, no, it was one hand. I think it was one hand. Yeah, we're gonna take the guy with one leg because that makes more logical sense than shutting down and trying to take anything the Bengals cut. It was a rough preseason. Not to a point where it's gonna, cut every single person on the roster and just call it GG. But hey, I think that's called progress because we didn't, or stupidity. It's one of the two. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one.